What's up, everybody? I'm back. This will be the first official video of my nationals prep. We're going to kind of walk y'all through essentially everything that we do. So technically I would say this is week 11, no deload, but this will be the first official week. Y'all might have seen a video on my TikTok, Instagram, about like my first day, week 1, but this will be like the first official week of training. We're going to start off with a decent leg day. Kind of come back to it. If y'all are not familiar, I did break my toe or toes. I dropped a heavy ass log on in my foot and it didn't feel too good. And so I kind of had to step back, take some time to recover. But I mean, other than that, I've been doing pretty good. I got second place at Texas Strongest Man this year in the 231 class. Qualified for nationals. Just been traveling, competing, doing everything I can to basically be successful. In the sport, it's a very tough sport. Everything's been good. It is kind of late. I think it's almost 10 o'clock right now, 10 p.m. I was supposed to come in at 6 a.m. and do this, but I was hanging out with my niece. we actually just got out of the pool. I was swimming with my niece just now. We're having a good time. So, no shame in that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this workout started. We're gonna start with some front squats. I think today we got an 8x3, which honestly sounds dreadful, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, 225 is not too heavy, so it shouldn't be too bad. To kind of come back to the YouTube stuff, I really did enjoy it whenever we did it the first time around. I think the only reason I stopped really was just because I just was extremely busy, extremely tired. I was feeling a lot of burnout. I think I really was trying to do the most at the time, and not really enjoying the journey. I think that's something that I've definitely, over the past 2 years, I've matured a lot in. Is I've grown to really enjoy the journey of being an athlete. I think I spent so much time trying to prove that I was an athlete versus actually, really learning what it means to be an athlete, really learning to enjoy the journey of becoming one. Because I really don't think I don't think up until this year I was an athlete. I think I had a vision of what I was, or what I wanted to be, not necessarily what I was. I had a vision of who I wanted to be as an athlete. And of course you got your Brian Shaws and your Eddie Halls, and that was my vision. I wanted to be like them. Oh, shout out to my coach, by the way. He's the one who he kind of helped convince me, decide to take this journey to become, to do social media again, start taking Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube seriously. It's definitely an important aspect. Social media is an important aspect of being an athlete, of being a high-level athlete. That is, of course, on the lower end, it might help. It might get you an invite or two. But let's be real. It's hard for people to connect with athletes if they don't understand the journey. And so shout out to my coach, Nicholas Camby. He's a really cool guy, really good friend, really good coach. Goofy as hell, goddamn. So I fucking hate his commercials. I love his commercials, but Lord, I hate them because they're so corny. But it's the greatest thing about it is that they're corny. And I think he knows that. I think he knows that's what gets the attention. He's really goofy. He's a great guy. I love him though. He keeps me straight. That's to say. A little bit of dry scoop. Hold on one second. Oh God, that tastes awful. I have the C-Bum pre-workout. That one tastes great to dry scoop. This one tastes horrendous to dry scoop. It is by Anabolic Warfare Maniac Freedom Slush. It's old as hell. I got it last year. But yeah, shout out to my coach. I love him. He actually gave me his belt that he won Worlds with in the 231 class. So really cool of him. Nice SBD belt. It's more expensive than anything I can afford. Oh, Mr. Perfection. Hey, quit being perfect, okay? that boy Mason, bro. That dude is literally like the golden child for perfection. Golly, man. The dude was like, let me explain to y'all the joke I had a second ago. I made this joke, and essentially, like, you know, whenever you see guys, right? If someone's got like a really freaking nice car, like just absurdly nice car. I mean, unless they're like a billionaire, but like they're like just normal people, you know. They got a really, really nice car, you know. Maybe I hate to say it, but there's like a little bit of compensation, you know. Like it's like maybe they're compensating for looks or whatever it may be. And so, you know, they might be like a decent looking guy, but they have a nice car and they got some good money. And then you see like a great looking guy that his car looks like shit, you know. Like let's be honest, you know. And like, you know, and then there's Mason, which, I mean, y'all don't know who Mason is. I know who Mason is. And actually, Mason, come here. Come here real quick. I'm kind of talking about you right now. I just want them to see you. The golden child for perfection. Look, this is Mason. So the thing about Mason is the epitome of both of those things. He's got a nice car and looks fucking fantastic, and it's some bullshit. Because how the hell are we supposed to compete with that? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, honestly, how the fuck am I supposed to compete with that? That's some bullshit. Anyways, long ass intro. Just a little nervous, you know. First video. Time to start warming up. Oh, that feels good. Yeah, that should be an interesting topic. Why front squats? I know you can't see me right now. Sorry, I'm just grabbing some plates. Why do strongmen do front squats? Well, the thing is, as a strongman athlete, not so much as a powerlifter, just because powerlifting is more of a, it's more standardized, but strongman, oftentimes, you see events like log press, Atlas stones, different types of carries, you know, your sandbag head carries, stuff like that. And those events are out in front of you. Back squats have their purpose, you know, they do some good work for us, you know. We do back squats from time to time. But in reality, the golden child for strongman will always be front squats. It allows you to kind of adapt to that load out in front of you stimulus, keep that torso upright, helps you brace the core better when you're dealing with weights like that. You know, especially like in this position, it's the kind of position that you would see like the rack in, you know what I mean? So like the rack up on your shelf, you know, right across the shoulders if you're gonna do a press, whether it be like an axle, barbell, log. I mean, still kind of comes out at a 45 with circus dumbbell, sandbag presses, all of it, you know, yoke presses. This is the position that you can expect yourself to be in. And so it's just it's a good stimulus for growth in the sport. And I think I took that for granted a long time ago, you know. I think I took that for granted as a strength athlete. Like, I really hated front squats for a long time, and I think the big difference in this last 2 years that's made a change, you know, well, actually, I would say like probably like last March would have been whenever I first started implementing front squats regularly. And dude, like the fucking explosion that I had as an athlete, you know, the strength gains, the performance was just tremendous, you know. And so hands down, if I was going to recommend anything, it'd be front squats for strongman. If there was one workout that would just universally make you really good in strongman, and maybe even some other strength sports, I mean, I imagine it has its purposes, you know, probably the front squat, most likely. All right, time to get it. Not bad. All right, time to start our sets. 8x3. You may ask, why so many sets? Why not 3x8? Well, sure, 3x8 could be good. You know, it makes it a little bit easier to deal with. But in all reality, in strongman, especially in your static lifts, it's more about generating maximal force, putting out the most force in an instant. Let's be real, strongman has turned into a more cardio-based sport, almost like CrossFit. But maximal force output is still extremely important. Extremely. Can't get around that. I don't think I'm gonna need the sleeves today. I know this is over. This is more than 225, but it'll be all right. I'm not finna figure out that, but it's plus or minus 233. It'll be all right. So maximal force output. So what do you think would be more useful for that? 3x8, which you only get to repeat that set 3 times, so you get 3 tries at performing at your best, or 8 sets of 3, where you get 8 different instances where you get to come up and attempt maximal force. Especially because this year at Nationals, we're gonna have a max overhead press at the blocks. So, you know, being in this position, being able to stand up with the weight, be comfortable with it in position, and press that overhead for a single, I feel like you get a lot more juice out of an 8x3 than you would a 3x8. I just feel like it serves a better purpose. You know, is it a big difference? No, not really. I mean, you still get the same stimulus. Sorry. You get the same stimulus. You know, same amount of repetitions. But, you know, I feel like you just leave a little extra on the table in terms of just being able to come in fresh on almost every repetition. Versus kind of grinding through a couple harder sets. All right, time to see how this feels. Shit. Felt decent. Yeah, that felt pretty good. I did have a little bit of issue. I kind of trying to keep myself from pitching forward, you know, that's why I'm taking it so slow. Try not to drop the weight. I mean, of course, there's like future plans and stuff, you know. Like, thinking getting ready to transfer colleges. That'll be nice. You know, kind of got tired of where I'm at. You know, kind of need new faces, need new layout. You know, it's got its ups and downs. It might cost a little more, but I mean, whatever. Yeah. There's that. Hopefully, our plan is to actually qualify for nationals this year, or not nationals, qualify for the Arnold's. Yeah, we're trying to make the Arnold's happen this year. I think like top 15 is like the range you're gonna get, you know, for that. Hopefully, you know, we're competing in Vegas. That's gonna be fun. Hopefully I get to go to Cali for the Anaheim Strength Expo. I would like to go back again for the LA Fit Expo. Of course, you know, the Arnold's next year, possibly going to Germany and Japan. You know, just a couple things. You know, a couple things that I'm really kind of pumped for. You know, I'm really looking forward to doing coming up soon. I mean, of course, I got my training crew. You know, I'm really happy with them. Y'all get to meet them as time comes. I'm pretty sure one of them will be with me tomorrow. We'll be training together. You'll get to meet Isaac. That kid's got potential, man. He's been training since, I don't know, January. And, I mean, the kid's just he's just showing some pretty decent numbers very quickly. You know, for being an under 164 athlete, I think it's an under 164. Yeah, being an under 164 athlete, or possible athlete, the kid's he's just growing quick. He started in January working out. I mean, he's already almost benching 225. He's almost overhead pressing 176. He deadlifted 330 pounds for a triple. His front squat, I mean, he did over 200 pounds on a front squat, which was freaking cool to see. The kid works, man. He's really dedicated to making sure every repetition just looks perfect. And I love that about that kid, So y'all get to meet them. They're pretty fun energy. You get to meet Justin, the boxer. Justin's a handful. Justin is a handful, dude. That's really everything's going on here right now. I play pickleball from time to time with my friends. I'm training, I'm competing, college. I work at a pharmacy right now. That's going really well. I got my license as a tech. Hopefully we'll be getting, so we're moving to clinical services here pretty soon. So hopefully we'll get pretty big pay raise for that. I was saying like $1.50 maybe, but some people were saying that we might get upwards of like $3, $4, $5, so that's pretty cool. Everything's lining up. I think a little moral story for y'all. I think whenever I graduated, I was like freaking out because I was just like, what the fuck is gonna happen with me? I got so used to the routine in high school, but like as I've gotten on, things have kind of started to fall into place. I'm starting to feel more comfortable with, life, financially, socially. I definitely feel a lot better. As an athlete, I feel phenomenal. Hopefully the social media thing I can get kicking off, And if you're watching this, please subscribe. It's just a little something just to help push forward, I'm trying to do something with this, even if I got 10 followers or 100,000, I'm always going to try to do my best, follow me through my journey. Hopefully I can become a world champion for y'all guys. Good topic. What is the plan for the social media? So, I was kind of thinking about it. My following isn't that big. It's decent, for being a nobody. I think this year, by the end of the year, I want to bring my Instagram up. That's my most used social media. I kind of want to bring that up to 1,000, 1,500. Let's say 1,250. If I put in honest, solid effort into my Instagram, I think I can get us to 1,250. YouTube, we're just starting it. If I can somehow, 250 followers on YouTube, that'd be cool by the end of the year. More would be awesome, but we're gonna say 250. That's a good solid number to start with by the end of the year. It's a little harder to grow on YouTube. And TikTok, I think about 750, 1,000 would be a pretty solid number on TikTok. I just got to figure out how to make content for TikTok that's worthwhile watching. Maybe I'll start making some AI YouTube videos. I've been watching those. I've been watching that gorilla, the gorilla interviews on the 100 Men versus the Gorilla. I love them goddamn videos, man. They're funny as hell. On O Block. I love that damn gorilla, man. Speaking of, actually, I know this ain't controversial, but I got the humans on that. I'm sorry to say it, but I just feel like 100 humans is just too much, I don't think people can comprehend how much 100 people are, I wouldn't say let's say 100 slightly above average humans, because let's be honest, The average has dropped significantly over the years. You know, the standard for average. Let's say like 100. I got 100 average 1970s humans. I think it's a pretty good. Say like average 1970s Americans versus a gorilla. Yeah, I'll say that. You know, looking at my grandpa back in the 70s and 80s, homie was big. You know, they're a little scrappy. You know, I got 100 of them over that gorilla. I like to share my opinion. Even if you think differently, you know, feel free to tell me. You know, at least have some reasons. Like I feel like the weight is too much. There's just too much happening at one time. Cardio endurance for the gorilla is just not great. You know, humans are the most cardiovascularly gifted animals on the planet. You know, I just feel like we could out endurance the gorilla. We could outsmart it. You know, it's just a lot of weight. Like we could hold it down. You know, we just lay on top of each other. It's gonna die. You know, I'm gonna put that out there. Yeah, that's what I got. I got 100 decent shaped humans, 1970s Americans, versus one biggest of the big, healthy gorilla. Yeah. I think I'll record one more set and then I won't make y'all sit here with me this whole time. Move over to leg press next. If you got any like technique tips on the front squat, like if you're seeing anything, feel free to comment it. I don't mind. You know, a little bit of advice goes a long way. I always appreciate that, you know. I always appreciate just a little extra. Not bad third set. Kind of back, you know, a little bit further on in the training. I kind of jumped over some of the sets just because I don't want you to have to watch all that. You know, maybe if you do want to watch that, you know, that's fine, whatever. You know, but like just kind of just kind of brief over y'all. You know, it's a good time to be kind of, you know, recording my videos, kind of starting this YouTube channel stuff out. You know, it's a little earlier on in training season. I'm kind of taking my sessions a little easier. I'm not gonna lie, I have been taking my time with these with these sets. You know, it's been about like 30 minutes since I've started, but like, and I'm on the second to last set. You know, these last two are probably gonna crank out pretty quickly, but like, I mean, really, I'm just kind of taking it easy right now. So it's probably the best part about this. You know, it's a good time to start, you know, recording, kind of start getting adapted to what it feels like to just have to record. You know, because you know, I just gotta kind of walk myself through, you know. It's going to be interesting for me to kind of watch myself go through prep, and I think it'll be valuable for y'all, you know, because I think one of the things about being an athlete, you know, that other people don't understand. I mean, of course, athletes understand this, you know, prep for competition, prep for games, you know, prep for, you know, the season. What people don't see about being an athlete is like really what kind of goes down behind the scenes, you know, what it looks like, the different stages, you know, because you really do like. You know, sometimes, like, and that's because I'm planning on, like, recording at least maybe 2 to 3 sessions a week. So you're really going to get to see my prep. You're going to see exactly what it looks like, how I'm kind of carrying through, you know, the different stages. You know, like right now I'm going to be a little bit more laid back. I'm a little more talkative, a little more high energy than usual. But, like, you know, maybe it might be entertaining for y'all, like, come close to competition, like later July, August, September, you know, and we're really going to crank up that intensity. You know, you're going to really start seeing, like, that aggressive side of me, you know, that thirst to want to win, you know. I mean, granted, I might not win this year, but still, like, because this is actually, so, I mean, I've been to the USS Nationals, but this is my first year. I've kind of, like, dedicated myself to only Strongman Corp. I just feel like Strongman Corp, for strength athletes, for Strongman Corp has better avenues for success. You know, you can qualify for the Arnold, you can qualify for Clash of the Coast, you can get invited to OSG, you know. There's just a better avenue for success as an athlete through Strongman Corp. So I'm kind of like sticking here. And so this will be my first time at Strongman Corp Nationals. You know, it's just a different level, a different intensity. We'll be in Vegas this year. You know, so you're going to really get to see the stages of like what it looks like, how I kind of walk myself through this, you know, because like right now, I think I'm in the position where I can probably compete, but I'm not going to be primed out. Like I don't really get primed out until like that last month and a half, like where I'm really just like, okay, now I know like for sure it's coming. We're right here in the pocket, you know. I'm going to have to bring that energy, bring that kind of attitude, you know, and be ready to compete, you know, because, you know, this is something I'm very passionate about. I've dedicated a good portion of my life now from what I've lived to strongman, and I've loved it. I've grown to love it more and more, you know. I think earlier on, a mistake I made was like, I fell in love with the sport, not for myself or not actually for the sport, but like, it was like a way for me to prove myself, you know, like, and I think that's another thing that people, you know, they don't understand about being an athlete is like, if you don't actually truly have passion for the sport and for yourself, you know, it's really hard to continue doing it. And I had a couple instances of burnout, and, you know, I almost fell out of love with the sport last year, but, you know, I really found that window of like, this is what I want to do. This is what I love, you know. I love competing. Like, there's just something about competing that's just, you know, it brings a different energy, you know. And so, like, with these training sessions, you're going to get to see me kind of walk myself through, like, mentally preparing myself for nationals, you know. Especially because, like, yeah, I might not win. I mean, this is my first year at Strongman Corp Nationals. You know, this is a high-level competition. Of course, you know, I've done the OSG events. Those are fun. But, like, that was more of, like, just kind of go into... I was more there just to be there. For here, I'm actually trying to bring that intensity. So this is going to be an important kind of, like... This is going to show me where I'm at, you know? Like, this is going to show me what needs to be worked on, you know? Because that's what me and my coach talked about, is, like, we're going to go into this nationals. Yeah, I mean, if we do good and we qualify for the Arnold, it's fucking awesome, man. Like, that'll be great. But, like, as far as, like, you know, if we don't, like, we're gonna take this, we're gonna build off of it, we're gonna learn, you know. Like, I want to see, like, okay, cool, like, I made a mistake here and there, you know, I need to get stronger. Maybe my press needs to be stronger. Maybe I need to move faster. Maybe I could work on my deadlift, you know, probably all the things. But, like, we're gonna really see where I am in terms of, like, the best, you know, in my weight class. And, you know, I know there's some monsters. I've already seen some videos, and I'm just kind of like, oh my god. But, like, you know, I'm really gonna bring my best. I'm gonna bring what I have. I'm gonna put it all on the line. That's how I treat every competition. You know, this is really gonna be me showing myself, like, one, I can do it. You know, like, I'm not just sitting here wasting my time, but I'm definitely, like, a competitor worth watching. But two, I'm also gonna be like, it's gonna show me, like, okay, like, if this is where I'm gonna take serious, I need to work, you know, on X, Y, and Z. And if I'm successful, I also want to look at the things that I'm good at. You know, let's say, like, I fucking do really good on the press, or do really good on the carry, or, you know, any event I might win, you know, then it's like, okay, cool, I'm really good at these events. How can we get better, you know, to make sure that I'm the best of the best? You know, maybe it'd be stones or something like that. You know, I want to make sure I can be best of the best on everything that I'm fucking great at, but I want to make sure that also the things that I'm not great at, that I improve on them. You know, so that's good. That's a really cool benefit about competing with these people, is I get to see, like, okay, cool, like, where I failed the most, you know, where I succeeded the most, and then we can adjust from there, you know. And so, like, and even now you can kind of tell, like, I'm not sure if you can tell, but I can definitely tell that, like, there's that level of passion and intensity it's there. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to jump onto the field, but I just need to keep it. I need to keep it going. I need to keep that energy, you know. And so we're gonna see that more as this progresses. You know, as I progress into training, you know, you'll maybe see me get a little more angry, a little more frustrated. But, you know, I'm gonna try to keep the content going and try to make things, you know, entertaining for y'all. You know, you'll get to see some heavier lifts, maybe. You know, just I want to bring it all. You know, and I also want to commit myself to making content. You know, I want to make sure that I can make good quality content. I don't want to make, you know, half-assed content. You know, I don't want to make things that, you know, that you have to force yourself to watch. I want you to enjoy watching. You know, if you enjoy me rambling, you know, then cool, awesome, fuck yeah, like, you know. But I also want you to watch the lifts and be like, holy shit, you know, this kid's got some potential. Because, I mean, granted, I'm still young, you know. but I still want y'all to be like, I want to appear in them. I want, okay, my TikTok dream, I want somebody to make an edit about me. I want somebody to make an edit, you know, because you see with all like the fitness influencers, people are making edits, or they're like, you know, they got the music and the frames are like switching up, and you know, it's like they're different lifts and they're posing or whatever. I need someone to make an edit about me, and I think I'll be happy, you know. Yeah, so I mean, if you're enjoying this video, you know, like the video, please subscribe, you know, comment if you have any like video ideas or things you want to see, or you know, maybe like we talked about doing a podcast about like lifting, you know, if that's something that you want to see, you know, you want to watch, you fucking let me know. I would like, I'm down to do anything, you know, like shit, if you want to collab, I'll fly into your city, you know, like I'm down always, 100%. I bring 100% energy no matter what. Let's get it. Feels good. God, I know I'm rambling. This is going to be a video where I talk a lot. I think it's a mixture of excitement and nervousness, which they always say that excitement and anxiety are the two sides of the same coin, essentially. The same neurons that fire for excitement are the same neurons that fire for anxiety. So I think it's more of like a response to that, you know? But I'm really pumped. I'm really excited. You know, this is something like I've been wanting to do it. You know, I've been putting it off for some stupid reason, you know? Like for the past 2 years, I haven't committed to it. And, you know, I'm ready to come back. You know, I got a new mic. I got a brand new phone for this. You know, got a tripod. I'm ready to start recording. You know, I'm really genuinely excited to be posting videos, you know, because I think we can do something with this. I think genuinely, you know, I have people that believe in me. You know, I believe in myself. I think I can do something with this. I think I can do something with the social media stuff because, you know, if anybody else can do it, I can do it, you know? That's my mindset I've always done, you know? Like, if you think, like, even world, like, my plan is to win World's Strongest Man eventually. You know, it's a fucking long-ass road till there. But, I mean, I've done remarkable things already at the age of 21. You know, I'm showing face, you know? I'm very impressed with where I've come, you know, coming from not playing any athletics and not doing any sports, being a fat band nerd, you know. I was a really big fat band nerd. I love band. I still love music. You know, I was still a big nerd, but like, I was not athletic whatsoever. I just had no interest in it, you know, from coming to that to where I am now, you know, like, it's remarkable for me. I'm very proud of myself, you know, and, you know, I think I've done some pretty cool things, you know, and I've got to travel a whole lot. I've been so many freaking places now, which is crazy. I never thought I'd be traveling. I never thought I would be, you know, lifting at high-level competitions. You know, I didn't think I would be, you know, doing what I'm doing now. You know, I honestly thought I was just going to be a band teacher. You know, I was just going to live in Amarillo and just be here, you know. And then I graduated. I started taking strongman seriously. You know, I started working out. I actually started strongman after graduating. You know, and freaking turned up that ante, you know, and we started going at it, you know, and I started lifting and I started traveling, and dude, it's just been an amazing journey. I'm super happy. Like, you know, like there's been times where, you know, I definitely have been ungrateful for where I'm at. You know, I don't think I've really appreciated how far I've come, you know, but like genuinely now, I think looking back at it now, I'm like, dude, like, this is freaking awesome. Like, you know, an appreciation, like, to my family, you know, they support me through all of this. You know, like my mother and my father and my grandparents, you know, we've had our rocky times about like the sport, you know, but like for the most part, they've always supported me. Like especially my mother and my father, you know, like my mother and my father, they've done an amazing job at supporting me, you know, like just kind of motivating me, you know, because like I know they believe that I could do it, you know. They've always believed, you know, that I could do something great, and I genuinely believe it. So like World's Strongest Man, I definitely believe I can win it. I think, you know, give me a couple years to really just lock the hell in, you know, and get that strength up, and I 100% believe. I think I have the mentality. That's the key. You know, I think I have the mentality, and you know, I go and I've trained with these guys, and I genuinely believe I have the mentality to be able to succeed. I genuinely believe that I have the capability and capacity to succeed and to win World's Strongest Man. No doubt in my fucking brain. You know, like there's never been a moment where I was like, oh, I can't do it. Like, no, it's there. You know, I'm going to be able to do it. Same thing with the social media. I think I could do amazing on social media. You know, I think I could still do some really cool things, you know, and there's nothing stopping me, you know. There's people that have done it. If somebody else can do it, I can do it. If somebody else has done it, you can do it. So, you know, if you're thinking about starting doing a YouTube channel or something like that, or social media or whatever, I mean, why the hell not, you know? Like I was talking about it earlier. I was like, dude, I'm in the gym all the goddamn time anyways. What the hell is turning on a camera? Like, I could turn the camera on and just record, you know, record my lifts. I talk all the damn time in the gym anyways. So, like, why can't I record a YouTube video, you know? So, like, if there's something you love or you want to do, dude, like, you could absolutely do it. So long as you have that mentality that you're going to succeed no matter what, you know, you got it. Like, you got it 100%. 100%. I mean, just look at the guys that have succeeded, you know? And there's some amazing people that have succeeded, but there's also some people that are like, you know, they're all right, you know, but they've also succeeded. So if you feel like you're just like, oh, but I'm not cool enough or I'm not great enough, like, you know, find your favorite social media influencer, you know, whether it be like Togi or, which I love Togi, you know, or any of them, man. Like, you know, look at like your Bradley Martins, your Brian Shaws, you know, your Eddie Halls, you know, your C-Bums, you know, all those guys who've done things in sports and social media. But like if you know, you crank, you know, Mitchell Hooper, love that guy, man. If you go to their social media, you know, and you scroll all the way down, you know, you take a good scroll, you realize like it all started somewhere, you know. They were all just some guy in a freaking garage gym, you know, lifting because they loved it, you know, or recording videos because they loved it, you know. Whether any of your favorite social media influencers, go look at their old contents. Basic as hell, you know. Like I remember some of the influencers I watch now, like Dashi XP. I love that guy, but I remember his old videos, like before he was doing like before he had a camera. I remember when before Dashi even had a goddamn camera, man. And you know, like the content was mid as hell, but he was funny as shit, you know, and he believed in himself, and you know, he succeeded. He's doing amazing things now. And I believe the same thing for me, and I believe the same thing for y'all, you know. Like if that's something that you think you could do, like if you really want it, you know, you can do it, dude. Succeed, man. There's kids that open fucking toys and make millions of dollars, dude. Like there's no reason that nobody else can succeed in this sphere. You know, social media is such an open, vast, you know, there's so much fucking opportunity, you know, like you can pretty much do anything. I've personally met the people that have done great things, and it's like you meet them and like, you know, everybody idolizes these people. They make them seem so great, but it's like these people are just normal freaking people. Like every those people I've talked to, I'm like, dude, you're just a guy, you know. You're just one of the dudes, you know. But you know, they've never stopped. They committed themselves to it, and bam, look at them, you know. Look at them. They're freaking doing great freaking things, you know. So 100%, dude, I believe anybody can succeed in the social media sphere. You know, you just really have to commit to it. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people who want to do it, and there's a lot of people who can succeed. Shoot, you see people and they're following several thousand people. You don't have to be number one. You can just be one of those several thousand. I mean, you can be successful, bro. Like you could be extremely successful. There's influencers now. Like I remember, you know, Chicos Toxicos and Felipe. They had like freaking nobody following them, you know. But I mean, like, you know, they were committed to the work. You know, Bradley seen potential in them. He put them on. Look at them now, dude. They got a good YouTube channel. They're starting to make a living off of it, dude. Like anybody can do anything, you know. Anybody could succeed. It's not a closed door. You know, you can do anything you put your hand to. Absolutely. I know that was a long rant, but you know, I was really feeling that one. I think that's something. Like I get into those modes where I'm really feeling passionate about something, and that's one of them. Let's get it. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. This is pretty solid. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already probably going to be like an hour. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. It makes the world to me. We're just going to finish up. I got a leg press and a bunch of accessories. I don't want to walk y'all through all of that. It's just leg press, leg curls, leg extensions. I have 2 variations of leg curls. Abductor movements. And then a little bit of reverse hypers. There you go. Yeah, we got a little bit of reverse hypers, and then we'll be done for the day. It's a lot of accessories, but I'll crank it out pretty quickly. I think I just rambled a lot today. But I thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. If you like the content, I'd love to support. If you want to like the video, comment, or subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'd appreciate it. And if you don't, that's awesome too, dude. Just thank you for being here. And yeah, it's a pretty fun day. I'll probably be a lot more working out this next video. Today was really just kind of my introduction video, kind of introducing you to me now. I know y'all might have seen some of my YouTube videos from like 2 years ago, but like this is who I am now. And so I appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much. I plan on bringing up some good content to y'all. I'll probably clip some of this. It's definitely going on the Instagram, my rants. But thank y'all. Thank you so much. And hope to see you soon. The next video should be with my boy Isaac. We'll be doing some overhead pressing. So see y'all then. Thank you so much. Take care. Y'all have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.